Shavua Tov Rabotai, Chodesh Tov, welcome to Chodesh Elul. And the Mishnah Yomi continues, Maaser Sheni, the first parak, Mishnah Zayin, a continuation of yesterday's limud. Remember we talked about the psukim, where the Torah tells us that what do you do when you have money of Maaser Sheni? You redeemed your Maaser Sheni produce onto coins, that you take them to Yerushalayim, and there you buy bakar v'tzayin, yain v'shechar. It's a great party, Rabosa. You have little animals, big animals, you have wine, and you have schnapps. So that's going to be a great party, but that excludes other items that do not fit in the klal prat klal that we learned out yesterday. So Mishnah Zayin continues on this theme. Ein lochim avadim ushfachot. You cannot buy male and female servants, v'karkaot, or land, ubehema tmeya, or a non-kosher animal, midzmei Maaser Sheni, from Maaser Sheni monies. Ve'im lakach yochel kenegdan. If he did buy them, it's not a valid purchase of Maaser Sheni, so he has to eat in Yerushalayim valid items, like tzon, bakar, yain, shechar, mamish, food stuff, that are valid for Maaser Sheni consumption in Yerushalayim, equal to them in value. Now that's assuming he couldn't return the sale. If he mistakenly bought land with his Maaser Sheni money, the best thing to do is get a refund and get those coins back and return the land, bring the coins to Yerushalayim and actually buy it. But if he couldn't do that, he would use other money and buy Maaser Sheni food equivalents in Yerushalayim. Mishnah continues, Ein meviin kine zavim, kine zavot, kine yoldot, chotaut, shamot, midmei, Maaser Sheni. You cannot buy pairs of birds for the zava, or for the yoledis. The carbon yoledis is two birds for a woman who gave birth, or a carbon chatas is a sin offering, a shamot is another guilt offering, midmei Maaser Sheni. These are all chovot, these are required. Now, you can't fulfill your requirement from Maaser Sheni. It has to be what you're buying with Maaser Sheni can be regular hullin consumption, or it can be a shlamim, which is not an obligation, it's sort of like a gift. Im hevi yochel kenegda. And again, if he did this mistakenly, thought he could use it for his kinim, for his birds in the Beis HaMikdash, so he has to spend more money and eat more Maaser Sheni. Zeh kol koshu chutz le'achila shtia. This is a generality, a general rule. Anything that he's spending on, that except for eating, drinking, and anointing, from the value of Maaser Sheni, he has to go back and spend more money to consume actual Maaser Sheni equal to the value he spent. So Mazel Tov, we're beginning Parak Beis in Maaser Sheni. Mishnah Aleph, Maaser Sheni, Nitan, Le'achila, l'shtia, l'sicha. We actually mentioned this at the end of the last Mishnah. So Maaser Sheni is allowed in eating, drinking, and anointing. We're going to explain how. Lechol davar shedarko lechol. You can eat something that's normal to eat. Losuch davar shedarko losuch. And anoint with something that's normally anointed with. Lo yusuch yain v'chometz. So don't anoint with wine and vinegar. Maybe some people do that, but that's not the normal thing to put on your skin. Avasachu et hashemen, but you anoint with the oil. Ein mefatmin shemen shel Maaser Sheni. We're not pitum. Now we know we were pitum from pitum haketoret, which was the blending of the spices, the incense used in the Beis HaMikdash. So this word pitum means you're putting spices and fragrances, perfumes, into the oil to give it a good smell. So you can't do this with Maaser Sheni, oil. The issue is some of these spices you put into the jar are going to absorb some of the oil, and later they get thrown out and not used. You can't buy, using Maaser Sheni coins, oil that's been so perfumed, spiced up. But you can add spices to wine of Maaser Sheni. The chiluk here being is when you rub the perfumed oil on your skin, that's great, but eventually you're going to throw out the spices that are in that jar of oil. But by wine, when you drink the spiced wine, you're also drinking those spices in with the wine too, so you're consuming all of the Maaser Sheni. Mishnah continues, Nafal l'toicho dvosh l'tavlin v'ishbicha. If he had a Maaser Sheni wine, and some honey or some spices fell in, as a result, it's more valuable. It's a spiced wine. There's a Gemara in Brachos that says that this was called hullin. There was a few different recipes for this, and it was had honey or spices, cinnamon in the wine, and it's a very gishmak thing, so it's even more valuable. Now, hashevach lefi cheshbon, you calculate the additional value by proportion. So the Bartenura gives an example. You have dvash that's worth 1 sela, and it falls into your Maaser Sheni. The dvash is not Maaser Sheni, but it falls into Maaser Sheni wine that's worth 2 selaim. So now you have honeyed wines, and now it has a shevach. It's now worth 4 selaim. You could sell it for 4 selaim. So if you wanted to redeem the wine onto coins and bring those coins to Yerushalayim, so you don't redeem it for 2 sela, the original worth, because now the whole mixture is worth 4. So that extra shevach, that additional 1 sela of shevach, of profit, of gain that is worth more, 2/3 of that is due to the wine, because this mixture is 2/3 wine, 1/3 honey. So really the redemption value in Maaser Sheni coinage is 2 2/3 sela, because we calculate the shevach, the improvement, according to the amount of Maaser Sheni in the mixture. A similar case, the Mishnah says, Dogim shenit boshlu im hakaflutot shel Maaser Sheni vishbichu. If you had fish, regular old hullin fish, not Maaser Sheni fish, that were cooked together with leeks of Maaser Sheni, and now they're more valuable. So the whole is worth more than the sum of the parts. Hashevach lefi cheshbon. You calculate according to the additional value. If it's half fish and half leeks, then it's half the improvement goes to the Maaser Sheni. The Mishnah brings another case, Isa shel Maaser Sheni, a dough of Maaser Sheni. The grains were from Maaser Sheni. She'afa v'shbicha. Now you've baked it, and the value is more. As in, baked loaf of bread is worth more than the ingredients, the raw ingredients of the bread. Hashevach l'sheni. So the entire profit, the entire increase in value, is to the Maaser Sheni. If you want to redeem it, you would have to pay the full value, even though technically, in theory, some of that improvement of value is due to the oven and the firewood and the labor. Ze'akol kol sheshvacho nicker. Anytime the added value, the profit, is recognizable, you can measure it. Hashevach lefi cheshbon. So it goes according to the proportion of the ingredients. If some of it's Maaser Sheni, some of it's not. Kol she'ein sheva shivcha nicker, when the added value is not recognizable. Like you can't see the hullin, you can't see the different ingredients in this mixture. Hashevach l'sheni. We assume it's all Maaser Sheni, that the added value is all in the Maaser Sheni. And if he wants to redeem it, he has to pay the full value. Shkoyach, Rabosai.